Hello everybody, this video is called YouTube 2022 Analytics, Pandas and Plotly, and Python 360 channel is what we're going to be using as our source data. The analytics that I get from YouTube in CSV format. So first thing we're going to do is import Pandas as PD, import plotly.express as px. From Plotly, import graph objects, graph underscore objects is go. So Pandas is what enables us to format the columns and the rows of the CSV file into a data frame and manipulate it. Plotly is what enables us to do many nice graphs. So pd.read_CSV. That's what we need to do to import the CSV into our Pandas data frame. And I'm just going to skip rows 1 to 2 because that's what's got the headers, and I don't want those appearing or messing up my data because they would make the first rows of the data nonsensical. Here, row 112, D2 equals DF. I'm just making a copy of my data frame. You'll find out why later on. Here I attempted to do a scatter plot of my views versus estimated revenue. I don't want to show my revenue on here. It probably contravenes YouTube's terms and conditions. I don't want to get banned. I make little enough money from this as it is without jeopardizing that. So remove the money stats. So what you do to remove a column is del, del for delete, then space, and df, data frame. So you tell it the data frame. We're using df throughout most of this. And we just want to remove the content column and your estimated revenue column, which is a title of another column when you download the CSV from YouTube, each column's got a title. So these titles here are the remaining ones. Obviously these two have been deleted. I'm sorting the values by views. So the video with the most views is appearing here at the top. Ascending equals false. So what that basically means is descending equals true. So the one with the most views is at the top. df.head20, that means I'm just, for this table, or what we see here, I'm just showing the top 20 videos. And you can see how many subscribers you get from each video, how many views, how much watch time, impressions, click-through rate. This is not, you don't have to be an expert at YouTube to benefit from watching this. For instance, what we're going to do next is we're going to do a scatter plot. And with a scatter plot, you just need to specify your data frame, so df. A data frame doesn't have to be called df, but it's just a convention. And then you just specify what your x and y are. So here, my x is going to be views, or number of views, and my y going across is going to be, sorry, got my x and y's around the wrong way. Subscribers is my y, so that's vertical. X is my views going across. Title, views versus subscribers. Hover underscore data. Hover underscore data, when you use it with scatter, so px is the abbreviation that we've made for Plotly Express as px. So wherever we use px, what we actually mean is Plotly Express. And what we're doing is we're just using hover data to say what you want to appear when you hover over one of the little dots. So you see when I hover here, I get the name of the video. So I'm going to scroll down in a second. We do fig.show, so that's standard throughout, and that's how we show the figure on the screen. So there we go. This is the first kind of meaningful data that we've extracted or that we've generated using Plotly. So up until now, it's all been pandas. Now Plotly takes the data frame. So Plotly recognizes a data frame and it knows what to do with it, and it knows the x and the y columns, or the x and the y values, because we've told it. We've told it here. X is views, Y subscribers. So you can see you can see which videos got the most subscribers. So actually, one of the ones that got me the most subscribers this year was how to make 3D models of Python. Second highest subscribers was eBay API Python tutorial. I'm not surprised about that. It was quite a popular video. Whereas certain videos got almost double the views, but not the same number of subscribers. So I did a video showing how to configure UART on GPIO pins 14 and 15. So that got 8,000 views, but it only got about half as many subscribers as my how to make 3D models of Python. I guess because the channel's called Python 360, something with Python in the title should probably do better. Python post requests. So I suspect these two videos got lots of views because they probably showed up on searches in Google quite highly, whereas these probably were more beneficial to people who subscribe to the channel or keep a lookout for the channel. So yeah, that's my first graph. Views versus subscribers. Let's look at the next one. So the next one, I want to look at views versus watch time in hours. And again, scatter plot again. So views is going to be X, so that's going crossways as per this one we've just looked at. Now we're going to be looking at watch time in hours versus views. Figure update traces, mode markers. Can't actually remember what that is. I used some of the Plotly website tutorials examples, and yeah, views versus. So again, same data frame, df, and yeah. So although I've used fig here and I've used fig here, it within Jupyter it keeps overwriting itself. So when you redeclare a variable, the old one's already obsolete. The same memory is probably being used underneath the bonnet, but to all intents and purposes, it's behaving as if it's a new variable. Views versus watch time. So you can see videos that got more views got more watch time, which you would expect, with a couple of outliers. So again, Python post requests, and the Python post request got 8,000 views, but it only got similar watch time to something such as extract text from video using Tesseract, which got just over, say, 4,500 views, and it got nearly as much watch time. So that tells me that people wanting to extract text from video using Tesseract probably watched more of the video, and also that video was longer. So the post request video was, I can't remember, about 8 minutes long or something. So, but in general, that's fairly predictable. So that's not telling us much other than just a couple of outliers. So we've seen two scatter plot examples. Let's look at another example. How old are the popular videos? Now this is quite interesting because when I got the CSV from YouTube, if we scroll back up, let's look at the date. You see the format of the date, and so it's org, which is a word obviously, so it's 13, 2021, sep 6, 2021. You can't sort these as they are because at the moment everything in this column is a string. So what you need to do is you need to convert as a type, and I've been quite explicit here. As type date time 64. First thing you need to do is actually convert the column to Pandas. So pd.toDateTime, and then you specify the column, the data frame and the column. So we set that the date time version of the df publish time column now becomes the video publish time of the data frame. Then we switch it to, we change the type of that column to date time. And then we sort the values. So we're sorting the values by video publish time. And again, I've not reformatted the names. It's probably something you would want to do, really. You'd want to just put in underscores wherever there's a space. You could use apply or a lambda function. Again, scatter plot. This time, video publish time is going from left to right along the kind of the time. Time typically goes along the x-axis. Y is the number of views, and yeah, and then the title. And hover data again is the video title. I always set that because when you're hovering over the dot, you want to know which video it was. And then figure update underscore traces mode equals markers, and then fig.show. So here we go. And this is quite, I guess it's quite messy at the moment. So what I thought I would do would actually, to make more sense of it, I mean, it's kind of, it's showing that there's more videos which are getting more views, slightly older, which is what I would expect. Obviously, an older video should have more views, but with computer and technical related stuff, it tails off as well. So there's probably a sweet spot, which is, what's that? That's about just over a year ago. Yeah, just between a year and a half ago, I would say is a sweet spot. But let's just see that as a histogram. So instead of scatter plot, we're going to do px.histogram. And again, df, so we just pass in the data frame, and then you just say what the x and the y axis are going to represent. And this is a bit more easy to understand, and you can see. So most of the views were between July and end of September 2021. So that's kind of a year ago from now. So it seems that videos a year ago were getting most views, and then obviously as we get nearer to the current date, there's less and less views because it compounds up. In older videos, not so many views. Partly because this is a kind of a technical channel, partly because I didn't know I didn't know as much then as I do now, so potentially the quality of the content may have improved. I'll let you answer that. I'm not going to boast or get shot down over that. Next, I want to show you a funnel plot. So what we've got here is I've created some new data frames. And what I thought I'd do would be to analyze the videos, well, you can see here, the videos that have got over 80 hours watch time, the ones that have got over 100. And the ones that have got over 100 still include the ones that have got over 80, because obviously over 80 is included in over 100 because, well, if it's over 100, then it's by definition it's more than 80. And here again, over 120 includes anything that's over 80 or over 100. What I've done is also used .shape 0, and that's a way to get the length. So I've filtered basically. I've filtered which videos have got watch time of more than 200 hours. So within the watch time hours column, I'm checking if the number is more than 200. That's returning me a data frame, and then I'm saying .shape 0, which is actually giving me the number. It's actually giving me the number of rows which contain a watch time greater than 200. Same here, but watch time greater than 140, 120, 100, and then 80. So I'm going to end up with 5 steps. If you've not seen a funnel plot before, this is it. So 15 videos with watch time over 80, sorry. 11 over 100, 9 over 120, 5 over 140, and then 2 over 200. So it's you can do it up the other way as well, but typically a funnel would be that way up. So you always have the things that are having less values at the bottom. So 15 videos over 80 hours, 2 videos over 200. And then I'm just going to plot a histogram with views versus impressions. I don't fully understand impressions and I don't take any notice of it really, but we're just doing a histogram. So px.histogram. Previously it was px.funnel, or go figure, then go funnel. Slightly different syntax here. That's why we imported, at the top, we imported graph objects as go. That was so that we could make the funnel. Go.figure, go.funnel. Don't ask me why. It's a framework, and I'm not going to go into frameworks. Frameworks good and bad at the same time. So, are we standing on the shoulders of giants? I hope so. Right. So top videos in top 5 videos. I'm just going to make a pie chart of the top 5 videos. And I'm just I'm setting a new variable here. I'm just reassigning df equal to df2, just for some exercise, just to kind of. And I think my df got out of sync somewhere. Not sure where, but df2 was my immaculate copy of my initial data frame. So px plotly express .py. Again, pass in the data frame. The values are going to be views and video title. So obviously a pie chart, everything adds up to 100%. And that looks really small. Now, if I change my screen size, yeah, all of a sudden it's gone bigger. So if I do it again, does that? No, it doesn't. That's quite weird. But if you just play with the zoom size within Jupyter Notebook, you can get a bigger or smaller pie chart. So here I can see that I've got 2 videos which are really popular. These are the 2 that got over 200 hours watch time, I believe. So 8,170 views for my configure Raspberry Pi, and my Python post requests got 8,006. In third place was eBay API. Fourth place, extract text from video using Tesseract, Pytest in Python. And web scraping drop-down menus, a blast from the past, using Python, Scrapy, and BS4 Beautiful Soup. So yeah, that is the end of my analysis so far. But what I just want to show you is, let me just bring back my toolbar, header, view, toolbar. And what I want to show you is if I export this, so I go up to File, Download as HTML. I'm going to save it to my desktop. And anyone familiar with Pandas probably knows this already, but the logo is missing. And more importantly, I've got big gaps where the graphs were. So why is this? I'm not really going to go into why, but I'll show you how you can fix it. You need these lines. So I've just switched over to my other copy where I was experimenting. So these 2 lines, and I'm going to paste those in. Let's just add a new cell here. 2 lines below for HTML export. So import plotly.io, so IO being input, output, as PIO. And then we do pio.renderers.default equals notebook. I don't fully understand. We don't need to. put these 2 lines in and I'll show you. So let's run it. I'm just going to run all of the cells with now that I've pasted that code in. Now if I go File, Download as, HTML, and YT Analytics 1 in brackets, save that. Now if I open the output of the export, yeah, I didn't get the little the YouTube logo, but I don't care about that really. What I did get was the Plotly images in the HTML file output, and they're still interactive. I still get the hover tips, and you can still zoom in, zoom out. What else can you do? Download plot as a PNG. So there you go. You can save that image. Yeah, they're all here. So those 2 lines, that took me a while looking around for that. I've put that in a separate video, just as a short video for anybody that might help. But there we go. So that is kind of how to analyze YouTube analytics data, but you can apply this to anything. You import the CSV file, you pick out the columns that you're interested in, you can sort them. If you've got dates, you may, one of the key things, and out of all of this, the thing that probably was most complicated, should we say, was just converting the string to a date, and then setting the date as date times 64-bit, and then sorting those values by publish time. Yeah, and the funnel plot, what you do is you just keep refining your search, or refining your number of results. The example on the Plotly website is kind of website views, customer requests, customer inquiries, purchases, invoices paid. So obviously anything that keeps getting a descending number with each step is suitable for a funnel plot. Scatter plot is probably the most easy to do. You can just quickly smash that out. Pie charts maybe take a bit more thought, and you can end up some really thin slices. So in theory, you don't want more than, say, I don't know, eight slices, and you don't really want the slices all getting really thin because they just end up being really hard to see. So there's probably a time and a place for a pie chart. So yeah, scatter plot, pie chart, funnel, it's all good. Thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions, or if you'd like me to analyze any of your data, send it to me, or ask for help. It's all good practice, really. So yeah, until next time, see you next time.